Welcome to my channel. Old Valuable Coins. The 1965 quarter is a special coin because it represents the very first year that the US Mint stopped using silver for the Washington quarter. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to the rising price of silver in the early 1960s, the Mint decided to switch to a copper-nickel clad composition. That's why the 1965 quarter is made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This was a major turning point in American coinage history. The 1965 quarter marks the end of the silver era and the beginning of the modern clad coinage system used today. Even though it doesn't contain silver, the 1965 quarter remains extremely popular. Millions of collectors search for this coin because of its connection to a historic change, and because some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets from 1964. These silver 1965 quarters are rare minting errors and can be worth thousands of dollars depending on their condition and authenticity. If you ever find a 1965 quarter that feels heavier or sounds different when dropped, it might be one of those rare silver transitional error coins. The normal copper-nickel 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. The obverse of the 1965 quarter features the famous portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. The word liberty appears above Washington's head, and the motto "In God We Trust" is placed to the left side. The date 1965 is inscribed below the neck. On the reverse side, there's the majestic bald eagle with its wings spread, holding arrows and olive branches. The inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and quarter dollar surround the design. This classic design remained unchanged for many decades until the state quarters program began in 1999. The 1965 quarter was minted only at the Philadelphia Mint, and because of that, it carries no mint mark. The total mintage was huge, over 1.8 billion coins were struck. This high number makes regular circulation strikes common, but collectors still search for high-grade examples and special errors. Mint state and proof-like examples are especially valuable if they have excellent luster and few contact marks. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can fetch impressive prices at auctions. There are also many error varieties of the 1965 quarter dollar that make this coin even more interesting. Some famous errors include the double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and the already mentioned transitional silver planchet errors. The most valuable of these is the 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet, which can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition and certification. These coins were likely produced when leftover silver planchets from 1964 were accidentally fed into the presses during early 1965 production. Collectors often check the edge color of the 1965 quarter to identify whether it might be silver or clad. A normal 1965 copper-nickel quarter has a visible copper line along the edge, while a silver quarter has a solid silver-colored edge. Weighing the coin accurately with a digital scale is the best way to confirm its type. Remember, a silver 1965 quarter weighs about 6.25 grams, while a clad version weighs 5.67 grams. Another interesting fact about the 1965 quarter is that it was part of the Mint's efforts to solve the coin shortage problem in the United States during the 1960s. The Mint produced massive quantities of 1965 quarters and other coins to meet public demand. During this period, the US Mint even paused the production of proof sets, which makes the 1965 dated coins unique because no official proofs were released for that year. However, a few special coins were made as part of the Special Mint Sets, SMS, between 1965 and 1967. The 1965 SMS quarter has a satin-like finish and sharper details compared to regular circulation coins. These Special Mint Set coins are popular among collectors and have higher value in pristine condition. Over the years, the 1965 quarter dollar has become more than just a piece of metal. It's a story of change, innovation, and transition in US coinage. Even though most 1965 quarters found in circulation are worth their face value, the historical significance, the rare error coins, and high-grade examples keep collectors searching for them. In fact, some pristine examples have been sold for several $1,000s in major coin auctions. Collectors today pay attention to the smallest details: die varieties, minting characteristics, strike quality, and preservation. For example, coins with strong strike details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers often attract higher bids. Similarly, coins with brilliant luster, no scratches, and full details can receive top grades and command premium prices. The 1965 quarter is one of those coins where condition really matters. If you are checking your pocket change or an old coin collection, always look carefully at your 1965 quarters. Weigh them, inspect the edge, and look for any unusual color or strike pattern. You never know when you might discover a rare transitional era coin that could be worth thousands of dollars. Many lucky people have found valuable 1965 silver quarters in old coin rolls and inherited collections. The 1965 quarter-dollar coin is also a reminder of how U.S. coinage evolved with the nation's economy. It connects the silver coins of the past with the modern clad coins of today. Its story represents resilience and adaptation, as the United States Mint had to adjust to economic challenges while maintaining coin production for the public. Even after nearly 6 decades, the 1965 quarter remains a favorite among collectors, historians, and anyone who loves the story behind America's money. Whether you're a new coin collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1965 quarter deserves a special place in your collection. It's a symbol of American history, a witness to change, and sometimes, a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Next up, the 1966 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. The word Liberty is inscribed boldly across the top, and beneath Washington's neck, you will find the date 1966. The motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left of the portrait. The reverse side of the 1966 quarter shows a majestic bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a powerful symbol of peace and strength in American history. The coin's composition is a key part of its story. The 1966 quarter was minted from a clad composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel over pure copper core. This marked one of the earliest years after the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters in 1965. Before that, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. The change was due to rising silver prices and coin shortages across the nation, and the new clad composition was designed to save silver and stabilize coin production. Because of this, 1966 quarters hold a special place as part of the first generation of modern U.S. quarters. No mint marks were used on quarters minted in 1965, 1966, and 1967, as the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks to discourage hoarding and speculation during the coin shortage crisis. That means all 1966 quarters, regardless of where they were minted, look identical in terms of markings. They were struck mainly in Philadelphia, but also at Denver and San Francisco facilities, without visible mint marks. The mintage for the 1966 Washington quarter was extremely high. Over 821 million coins were produced. Because of this large number, most circulated examples are common and have a face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated and high-grade coins, especially those with proof-like or special mint set finishes, can be worth significantly more to collectors. Speaking of special mint sets, 1,966 quarters were not issued in regular proof sets. Instead, the U.S. Mint released special mint sets, known as SMS coins. These coins were struck with greater care than normal circulation coins, giving them a satin-like appearance. SMS coins from 1966 often display sharper details and slightly mirrored surfaces, which makes them highly collectible today. Collectors look for these 1966 SMS quarters in high grades, particularly those graded MS-67 or MS-68. A flawless 1966 special mint set quarter with deep luster and no visible marks can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Some examples have reached over $2,000, depending on eye appeal, toning, and strike quality. There are also varieties and errors associated with the 1966 quarter that can dramatically increase value. Some examples include double-die obverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on planchets meant for other denominations. A 1966 quarter struck on a silver planchette, for example, would be a rare mint error and could be worth thousands of dollars. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare error coins. If you examine a 1966 quarter closely, pay attention to the rim, the date, and the lettering for signs of doubling or misalignment. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope helps spot these tiny details that may indicate an error coin. Over time, the 1966 Washington quarter has become a nostalgic coin for many Americans. It represents an era when pocket change was still filled with coins that looked silver but were no longer made of silver. The shift to clad coinage changed the look, feel, and sound of quarters forever, but it also made coins like the 1966 issue a turning point in American numismatic history. Collectors often include 1966 quarters in their Washington quarter sets, covering 1932 through 1998, before the state quarters program began. It bridges the classic and modern periods of U.S. coin design. While the design remained unchanged for decades, coins like the 1966 issue show subtle differences in strike, finish, and quality, making them unique to their time. Today, millions of 1966 quarters still circulate, but finding one in pristine condition is rare. Most have been handled, spent, and worn over decades of use. For collectors, the best examples are those kept untouched in special mint sets or discovered in rolls that were saved since the 1960s. When evaluating a 1966 quarter, collectors consider factors like luster, sharpness of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, the absence of contact marks, and overall eye appeal. Coins with original mint luster and minimal wear are always more desirable. Toned examples with natural rainbow colors are also popular among numismatists. In the coin market, the value of a 1966 quarter depends on condition, demand, and rarity of any era features. While most circulated coins are worth face value, exceptional SMS coins or rare errors can command premium prices. Checking price guides and recent auction results can help determine current market trends for 1966 quarters in different grades. If you're collecting US quarters, the 1966 issue is essential because it marks one of the first modern non-silver coins. It's a coin that reflects a major transition in US mint history, from silver to clad, from scarcity to mass production, and from traditional coin collecting to modern numismatics. Even though it's common in circulation, the story behind the 1966 quarter gives it value beyond its face worth. It tells the tale of a nation adapting to economic change and coin shortages, of the mint's innovation, and of collectors' continuous search for hidden treasures in everyday change. Some collectors even check the weight of their 1966 quarters, as a genuine clad coin weighs about 5.67 grams, while a rare silver era would weigh around 6.25 grams. Using a precise digital scale can help you quickly identify any unusual examples. If you ever find one that seems heavier, it's worth having it authenticated. As time passes, the 1966 quarter continues to grow in historical interest. Coin enthusiasts, YouTubers, and history lovers alike explore its design, eras, and story, making it a timeless coin to feature in videos and collections. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, the 1966 United States quarter is a must-know piece of American coinage heritage. Next up, the 1945 wheat penny features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side displays two wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and abundance, which is why these coins are often called wheat pennies. The 1945 1-cent coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. The total mintage across all 3 mints was massive, reaching over 1 billion coins. Despite this large number, certain varieties, errors, and high-grade conditions make some 1945 pennies much more valuable than others. Most 1945 pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 90 millimeters. These were the last years before the composition changed in later decades, giving these coins a true vintage copper appearance that collectors admire. The 1945 no-mint mark penny from Philadelphia is the most common, with over 1 billion minted. In circulated condition, it typically holds a small face value of 1 to 5 cents, but uncirculated or mint state examples with sharp luster can range from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars, depending on their grade. Collectors often look for coins with strong strikes, clean surfaces, and original red or reddish-brown toning. The higher the grade and better the condition, the more the value increases dramatically. The 1945 D penny from the Denver Mint had a mintage of around 266 million coins. While common in circulation, finding one in mint state red condition is much rarer. High-quality pieces with minimal marks and strong luster can bring prices of $20, $50, or even higher at auctions. For collectors, 1945 D pennies that have been well preserved over 80 years are becoming more desirable every year. Similarly, the 1945 S penny from the San Francisco Mint, with about 181 million produced, has a special place among collectors for its slightly sharper design details and the famous S mint mark, which always attracts attention in the coin community. There are also several error coins from the 1945 penny series that can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of the most valuable errors include off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, and coins struck on steel planchets instead of copper. A double die obverse can show doubling in the date or in the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust. These rare minting mistakes were unintentional but today make the coins highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error varieties. When examining your 1945 penny, the first thing to check is the mint mark. Look carefully under the date on the obverse side to find the mint letter D or S, or no letter for Philadelphia. Then check the coin's color, whether it appears red, red-brown, or brown. Red coins, especially in mint condition, tend to have the highest value since they've retained their original copper shine. Next, inspect the coin's details under good light. Clear lettering, sharp Lincoln portrait details, and minimal scratches all add to its desirability. Many collectors enjoy comparing the 1945 wheat penny with earlier and later years. For example, during 1943, the U.S. Mint used steel planchets coated in zinc due to copper shortages in World War II. But by 1945, the mint had returned to copper, marking an important transition back to pre-war production. This makes the 1945 penny symbolic of America's recovery and post-war optimism. It's not just a coin but a small piece of history that connects to one of the most significant eras of the 20th century. Over the years, 1945 pennies have been found in collections, coin rolls, and even old jars passed down through generations. Even though most are common, collectors still check every one for hidden treasures. A perfectly preserved 1945 penny graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading standards can reach hundreds of dollars. Coins with special toning or rainbow colors, caused by decades of natural oxidation, can also attract premium prices from enthusiasts who value beauty and uniqueness in coins. In recent years, coin collecting has seen a huge rise in popularity online, with collectors showcasing their 1945 pennies on social media and auction sites. Videos, auctions, and discussions around vintage coins help new collectors learn how to identify key details and estimate their coin's potential value. The 1945 1-cent coin remains a popular choice for beginners because it's affordable yet historically meaningful, with the potential for valuable discoveries among rare errors or high-grade examples. To store or preserve your 1945 penny properly, keep it in a dry, cool place away from moisture and humidity. Avoid touching the surface with your fingers, as oils from skin can damage the copper over time. Use soft cloth gloves if possible and consider storing coins in protective holders or flips made from acid-free materials. Long-term care helps maintain the coin's luster and ensures its value remains stable or even grows over time. The beauty of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny lies not only in its monetary worth but in the history it represents. Minted as the world was emerging from the devastation of war, it serves as a reminder of endurance and national pride. Every time you hold one, you're holding a small artifact from 1945 America, a time when families were welcoming soldiers home, the economy was recovering, and simple coins carried deep meaning. Whether you are a new collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1945 1-cent coin offers something valuable to everyone. For some, it's a sentimental keepsake. For others, it's a treasure hunt for rare errors and high-grade gems. And for history lovers, it's a timeless connection to the American story. Now we will explore the 1952 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D mint mark below the date on the obverse side of the coin. This coin features the classic design by Victor David Brenner that has been admired for more than a century. On the obverse side, we see the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1952 along with the D mint mark on the right. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears design, two stalks of wheat surrounding the denomination 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E pluribus unum at the top. The 1952 D wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. It measures 19 millimeters in diameter. This classic bronze composition was used in US 1-cent coins until 1982, when the mint transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition. Because of its copper content, the 1952 D penny has intrinsic metal value as well as collectible appeal. In 1952, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of these coins, more than 746 million pieces in total. This high mintage means that most 1952 D pennies are common in circulated grades. However, collectors look for examples in pristine, uncirculated condition or those with unique minting errors that increase their rarity and value. Now let's discuss the condition and grading that greatly influence the coin's value. Circulated examples, those that have been used in everyday transactions, generally hold only nominal value, usually between 2 to 10 cents. But in higher grades, such as Mint State 63, Mint State 65, or even higher on the Sheldon scale, these coins can become significantly more valuable. A bright, red-colored uncirculated example graded MS65 red by a top grading service can sell for $10 to $20, and superb gem examples graded MS67 red can reach values of $200 or more, depending on eye appeal and luster. The color designation of the coin, red, red-brown, or brown, also plays a key role in its value. Red examples retain their original mint color and are the most desirable, while red-brown and brown examples have varying degrees of toning or oxidation. Collectors prize fully red coins because they showcase the original brilliance that the mint intended. Now let's move into the exciting world of errors and varieties. The 1952D penny has been known to exhibit several minting errors that make it a target for error coin enthusiasts. Among these are doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, and die cuts. A repunched mint mark, or RPM, is one of the most popular varieties. It occurs when the D mint mark was punched more than once into the die in slightly different positions, creating a doubled appearance under magnification. Some repunched mint mark varieties of the 1952D penny can command values from $10 to over $100, depending on condition and demand. Another collectible variety involves die breaks or die cracks, where a portion of the die cracked during the minting process, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin. Larger die breaks, sometimes called cuds, can make a coin quite valuable to collectors who specialize in mint errors. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is not properly centered, can also bring premiums, particularly if a large portion of the blank planchet remains visible. It's also worth noting that the Denver Mint in 1952 was one of the most active mints, and quality control varied from die to die. This means that sharpness of strike, detail in Lincoln's hair, and definition in the wheat stalks can vary widely among examples. Coins struck from fresh dies tend to have crisp details and strong luster, while those struck from worn dies may appear dull or weakly defined. For collectors and investors, the 1952D Lincoln cent holds enduring appeal as part of the beloved wheat penny series. The wheat cent, struck from 1909 through 1958, remains one of the most popular coin series among American numismatists. It connects collectors to an important period in U.S. history, from the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt to the post-World War II years. The 1952D penny represents the final decade of the wheat reverse before the memorial design replaced it in 1959. When searching for a valuable 1952D penny, pay attention to overall condition, mint luster, strike quality, and any visible errors. Coins stored properly in coin holders or albums can maintain their red color and sharpness for decades. Even though most examples are common, exceptional coins with superb eye appeal can fetch impressive prices at coin shows and auctions. Now, let's discuss the market trends and collector demand. Over the years, the value of the 1952D penny has remained stable due to its availability and historical significance. However, the market for high-grade wheat cents has grown as more collectors build complete sets. Registry set collectors often compete for the finest known examples, driving up prices for coins graded MS67 or higher with a full red designation. While circulated examples may not bring high premiums, their charm and nostalgia make them a favorite among beginners and seasoned collectors alike. Collectors often seek to build date and mint mark sets of Lincoln wheat cents, and the 1952D is an essential part of that journey. Completing a full run from 1909 through 1958 requires patience, attention to detail, and appreciation for the subtle differences between issues. The 1952D penny, though common, offers a satisfying piece of mid-century American coinage that reflects the craftsmanship and history of its time. Let's also remember the historical context of 1952. The United States was experiencing post-war prosperity, the Korean War was ongoing, and the country was shifting toward a modern industrial economy. During this time, Lincoln cents were a daily part of American life, used in vending machines, payphones, and everyday purchases. Each coin circulated through the hands of millions of Americans, becoming a small but tangible piece of national history. For those who wish to preserve or invest in these coins, proper storage is crucial. Keep your copper coins in a cool, dry place, preferably in acid-free holders or capsules that minimize exposure to air and moisture. This prevents toning and oxidation that can dull the coin's surface. Avoid cleaning copper coins, as it can severely damage their surfaces and reduce collector value. In recent years, collectors have rediscovered the joy of hunting through old penny rolls, jars, and collections in search of hidden gems. The 1952D penny occasionally turns up in brilliant condition, forgotten in a drawer or saved by someone decades ago. Roll searching remains a popular hobby because it connects collectors with history while offering the thrill of discovery. Whether you collect for fun, for profit, or for history, the 1952 D1-cent coin from the United States stands as a testament to classic American design and minting craftsmanship. It's a reminder of an era when even a small copper coin carried great significance. From its bold portrait of Abraham Lincoln to its enduring wheat stalk reverse, this coin remains one of the most recognizable and beloved pieces of U.S. coinage.